Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Fighting Chat podcast. This time, we're going to be discussing UFC Fight Night Vegas 10, Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill. Before it happens, like a pre-fight show. Agreed?
I agree with that.
For anyone in the United Kingdom, this will be on Sunday, the 13th of September, starting at 1 a.m. It's going to be held at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. So the first thing I've got to say about it is that this weekend there's a lot of MMA on. I believe we've already had a bare knuckle fighting championship. We've already had Bellator 245. I think there might be an LFA, I believe. And there's a Bellator 246 coming up. So there's a lot of MMA going on this weekend. So we're going to talk about the best of the best because, you know, the main card's amazing. Anyway, the main event wasn't meant to be... Anyway, hello. How you doing?
I'm all right, yeah. How are you?
Just to make sure that everyone knows I'm not on my own. The main event for this was meant to be Glover Teixeira versus Hammer Chest Thiago Santos.
Would have been a good main event, that, wouldn't it, eh?
Oh, mate, amazing, right? But he tested positive, the usual crap, right? Glover did. So, yeah, would have been amazing. Definitely brilliant. Great main event. So they've bumped someone up to the main event or two people up to the main event because you have to have two people in the fight, don't you? Now, there's a lot of things that have happened to this card. And as I get to the fights, if I know anything that's happened, then I'll mention it at the time rather than go through a big list at the start, right? But that was meant to be the main event. Shame, innit?
It is, yeah. Do you know when that fight's been rescheduled for?
I think it's 2 weeks, 19th or something like that. October, I think. A couple of weeks. I don't think it's long.
Oh, I just had a quick scan through and I couldn't see it in the next couple of events, but maybe it's not officially been announced yet. But yeah, that's when they're scheduling it for, because that is definitely a fight I want to see. You know, way more so than what has replaced it. But you know, but
Yeah.
It don't matter, does it? Like we've said before, you can never judge a fight until it's happened.
You can this one, the main event, right? This one you can.
Okay.
But I'm going to agree with your previous statement of judge a card before you see it, right? But fights, you can try and judge them, you know? Maybe this card will be amazing.
It might be, but just to answer my own question there,
Yeah.
the Glover fight has now been moved to, as you mentioned, early October 4th.
Oh,
so it's been scheduled for Holm versus Aldana. I guess it's suppose how Glover recovers, but the fact that he probably didn't even know he had it when he tested positive suggests that, you know, he'll recover no problem. Now, the funny thing is he's moving on to UFC Fight Night, Holm versus Aldana. Now,
what? He was the main event of this one, and now he's under Holm and Aldana.
That's right, yeah.
Crap.
So anybody with any sense should really be pushing that Holm Aldana fight down to co-main. And the
putting the boys back to where they was.
Glover.
Yeah, they were always main event, right? And now they're not. Yeah.
No, it's a great fight, that one.
Of course it is. Yeah.
As much as I've already seen it in my head, and I know exactly how it's going to end. It's going to end with Glover looking up at the lights.
Don't matter. He's good.
He is good, and if anyone can kind of tough through, you know, sort of and grind through someone as powerful as Santos, I do think it's Glover. But as I said before,
the old Brok version.
Yeah, he's going to get banged on the way in at some stage, and I think that'll be good night. But
let's hope that don't happen. We'll say a good. Now it'll be 3 rounds. I guess it would just be a good 3-round competitive fight, a good exciting fight. I don't want to see him get banged out straight away or anything.
I don't want to see him get banged out full stop. But the thing is I do think 3 rounds rather than 5 rounds might actually help it be an even more exciting fight than it was probably destined to be, right? Well, because over 5 rounds, you've got to pace yourself a bit more.
Yeah.
You take your time a bit more, but this is a bit more of a sprint rather than a marathon. So.
Okay, we'll be excited then and talk about it when the event comes. because
Well,
we're here to
sorry, I
talk
got a bit
about.
excited about something, and
No, well, wait a minute. Maybe you'll be excited. We'll see.
all right. Well, let's run through it then, and we'll.
Well, hold on though. So first off, right?
I'll give you an excited rating for each fight.
All
How
right.
about that?
The
Out of
rest of
10?
the MMA that's on the weekend, if we get to see it and whatnot, then I'm happy to have a chat about it afterwards. I haven't seen that BKFC that you said was on last night. It's gone already, and I haven't seen Bellator 245 was gone already. But I do believe it might be recorded, that Bellator. So hopefully we get to see them, and then we can discuss those. But for this one, this is a pre-fight chat, right? There's another fight here before I go on. So I said there's some changes to fights, but there's also fights that are off. So Glover Teixeira versus Khama is off. And Tyson Nam versus Matt Danger Schnell is not on the card anymore. I don't know why, but that's annoying.
There's Matt Schnell, I think, was having weight cutting issues. I believe it was Matt Schnell anyway, but weight cutting issues, I think, was what I heard earlier today.
What is he, a 145ers or a 135? Because I think he's quite a weak, isn't he?
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't know. Let me just double check because I don't want to get it wrong.
I know he's a lighter weight fighter, but wasn't sure.
Flyweight.
Has he had grief before? Do you remember?
Yeah. Sorry?
He had grief before making weight, do you remember? I can't remember any. I think he always gets grief, but they all get grief, don't they? It's hard.
Yeah, I don't remember him having weight cutting issues before.
No.
But
me neither.
He is a guy that does look big at weight. He's really shredded and ripped, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember him from when he was on that show that we used to watch. What was it? That sort of documentary show. Do you remember
I can't
that
remember.
show?
I do, but I can't remember what it's called.
No, neither do I. I'll find out now, actually, just quickly. But the thing is when he was on that show, I remember us even then saying, that guy's good.
Yeah, it was good. I like the show as well.
Yeah, Caged. There you go.
Caged, yeah.
TV reality series, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
And, he was clearly the,
He stood out, didn't he? We always thought he might get somewhere, this guy, yeah. And
that's right, yeah.
And he has done. He's done all right in UFC and all.
He has, yeah.
He's lost some as well, but I think he's done quite well.
He reminds me a little bit like Shane Burgos, a guy who I really like. I think is really good, but eats too many unnecessary shots. And every time I watch Schnell, I'm always like, oh, he's going to get done any second because he gets clipped a fair bit. But these last few fights, he's kind of put a little streak together. But he did lose his last one, didn't he, against Pantoja? He got knocked out. I mean, I did say that.
Well,
if you look at his 3 losses in the
Ultimate Fighter winner bloke, isn't he?
He is, yeah. But if you look at his 3 losses in the UFC, they're all KOs in the first round, which would, like I say, he gets clipped with too many unnecessary shots. And more often than not, you're better off not getting clipped with those shots in the first round when your chin's still cold, you're not warmed up as well.
Supposed to have warmed up out the back. If he had Jason Guida as one of his partners, he'd be warmed up no problem.
Get a few slaps on his chops before he gets in there, and then
there you go.
And he won't keep getting sparked out within 5 minutes. But
that's what I'm saying. The blueprint's there.
He has done good, and he's a guy who I'm not bothered about the fact that he hasn't won all these UFC fights. I look more at the style of how he fights and stuff like that, and he's got a really good style. I think he's good. Reminds
me a little bit of Scoggins.
Oh yeah,
bit rough and all that, and always getting done. So anyway,
I know what you mean. Like losing fights he shouldn't lose, and stuff like that.
But I would never get rid of him. He's a good fighter, exciting and everything. Good.
Well, they did get rid of Scoggins.
Fighter. Yeah, I know they did, but they shouldn't have got rid of him. He's brilliant. Why has he not come back?
Yeah, he's
Is he not won any? Normally they go out of the UFC, don't they, and then win a few on the regional circuit and then come back. Has he? Can you double check what's happened with him? Has he won any? Because he's
I did.
I
believe it or not, I did look him up. Because
brilliant.
I'm genuinely a big fan of Scoggins.
So am I.
And the first fight outside the UFC, I mean, you'll never guess, he got choked out.
Oh, for God's sake, the same every time. Stop putting your head in it.
Yeah, I know. He's the white Melvin Gillard, isn't he?
Yeah, it's the other way. He sort of gets done by the front guillotine, not a rear naked, isn't it? It's the other way round. It tends to be. I think it's because he does all them speeds, takedowns, and all that. Puts his head under your armpit, has a little smell, and never brings it back out again.
Yeah,
Might.
maybe he likes the smell. But yeah, if you look, he lost a split decision to Dustin Ortiz. It's in the UFC. Then he got submitted with a guillotine choke by Moraga. Got submitted with a guillotine choke by Munoz. So he's only loses to really good guys. You know, submitted with a rear naked choke by Sasaki, who I actually used to think was quite good. I think he was that really tall, long Japanese fighter with sort of used to have sort of like a
What was that other long bloke?
Lewis Smolka.
No, he's quite good. But no, there was a really long sort of Rasputin-looking bloke. We really liked him as well. Long,
Yeah,
thin
Pablo
bloke.
Garza,
Him. What's happened
the
to that?
Scarecrow.
Is he?
Well, he left
happening?
years ago, didn't he? We did like him, didn't we, Pablo
Yeah, it was
Garza?
good. We
Yeah.
like all the good ones. Maybe we should start up our own promotion, bring them all back.
Yeah, all the classics. Yeah, the Scarecrow, Scoggins. But
He's still good though. Well, I don't know if they might not fight anymore. Who knows?
well, he hasn't had a fight, Pablo Garza, since 2013.
Oh, he's banned it, is he?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Well,
Again, though, if you look at the guys he lost to,
yeah.
he lost to Dustin Poirier, so that definitely doesn't
power.
look bad. He lost to Dennis Bermudez, and he lost to Diego Brandao.
I like Dennis Bermudez. He's good. And Brandao, I like him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, we knew he was brilliant. Let's tweet him and tell him he's brilliant. And maybe he'll come out of, well, I don't know, he's in retirement. Maybe he'll have another fight if he knows that we specifically want to see him fight again. It should be enough to bring him out.
I would have thought so, yeah. Just to please us. The Scoggins did win his last fight, by the way. You'd be pleased to hear.
Yeah.
So he's back on the winning trail.
Let's
so
go,
we might see him back I'd really like to see him back in the UFC. I think he's brilliant.
He's amazing.
One of my favourites.
So,
so let's get on with this card, though.
What do you want to do, though?
This is also littered with loads of my favourites.
Yeah, same here. Main card or prelims first? Up to you.
Now let's race through the prelims and then we'll race
prelims.
through the card as well.
Okay. So do you want to do it from the race through both? Do you want to do it from the very bottom, from the first fight?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, then. The first fight on the card, I believe, is Sabina Mazo from Colombia. I'm not going to go too mad on the details because it's just we'll save a lot of that for the post-fight show, their records and stuff, I think. Unless we want to discuss it, of course. I've got the info. Versus Justine Kish.
Yep. All right. Can I just quickly deal with this one?
Well, obviously not as quick as I was going to, because I was going on the next fight. Yeah, go on.
Well, I was just going to say that even though she had a few fights in the UFC, I don't really remember Mazo's fights.
Me neither.
But I do remember Justine Kish from when she was in the Ultimate Fighter.
So do I.
And so I'm definitely picking Mazo.
And she is the favourite to confirm.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So we don't. Okay. Well, so am I.
So just to be clear, what we're going to do is we are going to pick a few fights and we are going to put our money where our mouth is. Yeah, that's what we can call this segment, putting our money where our mouth is. We are going to place a bet based on our
real
predictions.
Money. Real money.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's my money. It's in my betting account. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but I could do a little bit of sheet here and there. I don't have to go nuts, do I? You know what I mean?
Nah, it's got to be worthwhile. You've got to do a
Is
fiver at least. Yeah, at least.
Fiver? What, on each fight?
No. We're going to do an accumulator.
Oh, okay. All right.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay, so that one's in the running. So we're going for Mazo. Next fight, Barbarena.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't be exciting.
Oh, sorry, that's your job. Go on.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't be exciting and go for Justine Kish. I can't do it. Hang on. Underdog. Ooh. Okay, I'll go for Kish.
No.
Whoa.
All right, fine. Go on in next.
Right. Do whatever I want. Nasty. Next fight, Bryan Barbarena. Bam Bam.
Yep.
Versus Anthony Ivy. The welterweight match. Favourite in this one's Barbarena. Look, honestly, I don't know who Anthony Ivy is. Do you?
You don't know who Anthony Ivy is? Are you crazy?
Oh,
Are you serious? You don't know Anthony Ivy?
Yeah, but I'm going to watch it and then I'll learn who he is. I'm just being honest. I don't know who he is. I don't remember any of his fights. I don't recognise his name or anything. I recognise the Bam Bam bloke. He has loads of smash ups.
I've actually never heard of Ivy either. But believe it or not, he has fought in the UFC before. So this is sounding like the worst informed UFC podcast ever.
Oh, we can't help it. We've got to learn as well. I know he's fighting, and I'm going to watch it, and I'll have a chat afterwards. It might be brilliant. I don't know.
He has fought once in the UFC. He got knocked out in under a minute by Christian Aguilera. Do you remember the guy?
Oh, yeah. The one who's should have had the Genie Bottle nickname.
Yep, that's it. So take from that what you will. I mean, just thinking of that briefly, Christian Aguilera, even though he lost the other day, he looks more solid, compact, and explosive than Barbarena, who's more of a grinder. So that's not necessarily an indication that anyone can get knocked out by anybody, right? And anyone can get caught with a lucky punch. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't expect necessarily Barbarena to knock Anthony Ivy out
Well, you haven't
either,
seen how
just
weed
because he
Anthony
doesn't
Ivy
have that
looks.
same.
Yeah, but Ivy might look weed.
He might do, but all I'm saying is Barbarena and Aguilera have different sort of striking styles. In Barbarena's more a volume, drag you into deep water guy,
Yeah,
whereas
that's true.
Aguilera is a bit more of a powerful striker.
All right.
So, but still, I think based on what we know, which isn't much, we know quite a lot about Barbarena and his previous fights. You just have to go with Barbarena, wouldn't you? He's just the.
Well, I'm not gonna. I'm going with Ivy because I think he's backs against the wall. He came in and his debut and he got knocked out and he's like, no, I'm not having this. I'm not having it. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I've had 2 idiots saying they don't know who I am. I'm sick and tired of this crap. I'm going to blaze Barbarena out. So I'm going for Anthony Ivy by. He's going to do him. He's going to ground and pound him out. He's going to blaze him out in like round 2 or something. He's going to do him. And he's going to say, I told you. Yeah. Heard of me now. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, so it's good. It should be exciting, right? Because we've gone for different people in the first 2 fights.
I've got my reasons, genuine reasons. Right, so you want the next fight?
Yes, please.
Brok Weaver versus Jalin Turner. It was Frank Camacho, but Jalin Turner stepped in for this one. And I think that's why it's a catch weight one. That's my guess anyway. I don't know what happened to Camacho. I'm guessing it's the obvious, but I don't know. I didn't notice what happened.
Lost last time out, didn't he, Camacho?
Oh, did he? Well,
he did.
He ain't going to win this time either. He's not in it. But I think that Jalin Turner's quite good. I don't mind this Brok Weaver bloke either. As in, he gets it. He's a bit of a Barbarena, isn't he? He looks exactly the same, doesn't he? Just like a more, interesting looking version. More powerful version. Anyway, I don't know, but I'm going for Jalin Turner on this one. I don't know what the odds are.
I'm going for Jalin Turner as well.
Oh, all right. Okay. Brok's been done then. Well, next, I haven't got anything to say about the fighters or the fight is the truth, so I'm not going to, just for the sake of it. If I think, if there's something I want to say, I'll say it. And the same for you. If not, I'm going to move on to the next fight. Happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Alexandr Romanov, good nickname. We not really want to talk about nicknames on this because it's just a pre-fight show. When I want to get into the meat and the nitty-gritty of it afterwards with the post-fight show, when we chat about everyone, I go, weren't he great or weren't he crap or weren't she brilliant and weren't she... No, they're always brilliant. So this guy, though, his nickname's good, King Kong, right? And he's against Roque Martinez. Now, I saw a shot of these two and they both look like big sags. They don't look good. Sorry, they don't. They don't look good. Yeah, they're heavyweight, but, whatever. Alexandr Romanov versus Roque Martinez. Now, from the shot, they're both big sags. I'm going to go for Alexandr Romanov.
Again, I think it's both, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's both their UFC debuts.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Unless you're willing to sort of trawl the internet for some of their previous fights.
No, I'm all right.
You're kind of shooting in the dark a little bit. And like you say, you do have to then kind of look at, well, who looks more physically in shape, who looks more athletic. You do have to kind of go for those sorts of things. And based on that, I'm going for Romanov as well. Yeah.
Now, neither of them looked better than the other one physically in shape. It's just that physical attributes, I give it to Romanov on the fact that he was, bigger and taller, and the other bloke was a bit more crushed. So
yeah, he's also, undefeated, which
I saw that 11-0, right?
That depends on who you've been fighting. If you've just been fighting tomato cans, then
it don't matter.
Undefeated.
Well, let's have a chat. Okay, well, that leads us on to it. Let's have a quick chat about undefeated and how much that means, because I do think that does mean something, even if he has been. To him, they're not tomato cans. He went in and had a smash, and we've agreed it's brilliant that people go in and have these fights. Very, very brave, regardless of who you're up against. And so far, he's done 11 of them. We don't know who they are. We try not, purposely not being disrespectful. We have no idea what his opponents were like. They were all opponents, though, that all turned up to beat him up and tried to beat him up, and they all lost. 11 of them. It's quite a lot. For a bloke we've never heard of, it's quite a lot. So how important is the undefeated record to your mental game?
Well, first things first, if you want to see who Roque Martinez has been fighting lately, if you look at his last couple of opponents, go on to Sherdog or something like that.
The way you're talking, it sounds like you're being a little bit nasty here to Martinez. Now, we'll see. I'm just getting it from the tone of your voice, but we'll see.
Well, you'll find out for sure in a minute.
Yeah.
If you look, his last couple of guys he's fought have got, let's just say, interesting faces and physiques. There's
Similar to him.
I know it's going to sound stupid. What I mean by that is they've got a little bit of a Bigfoot Silver vibe about them.
Oh.
Now,
okay.
One of his opponents recently, Seigo Mizuguchi. He looks hard, but he looks like the Japanese Brock Lesnar.
Well, he's brilliant.
But he's got a losing record, so he loses,
all right.
wins.
Okay.
And he's also 44 years old.
Ooh.
Now, but it doesn't matter, right? Roque Martinez won. He beat him.
I don't know.
That's
exactly.
main
He
thing.
done what he's paid to do, right? He said, I'm going to have a smash. And they said, well, try and win. And he tried to win and he won. But what's his record, Martinez? I don't even know his record. I think he's that rare.
15, 5-2, I think. Something like that.
Amazing. Absolutely brilliant.
So his next opponent, Hideki Sakine. Sorry if I'm getting these names wrong. This will tell you everything you need to know about.
Of course, you apologise to the fighter because they're definitely watching it.
But of course they are, yeah.
So,
but
I apologise on his behalf as well. Sorry.
His nickname is Shrek.
So that's a Bigfoot Silver looking bloke then.
But no, they both are. But this guy is.
But Shrek, he's telling me he's giving the game away, isn't he, with a nickname?
Well, a little bit, yeah. But his age is 47, and when he fought Roque Martinez, he'd lost his last 3 fights. So,
how old's Roque?
Roque is
that his name, Roque, or is it Roch? Or is it Roque?
I think it's Roque.
Roque.
The only reason I say that is just because
he's a footballer that I've seen. He's got the same name, and they say it on. Right. So,
yeah, he's 34.
It's a good way to learn stuff, though, isn't it? And until Buffer or what's the other bloke? What's the other bloke called? The non-Buffer.
Joe Martinez.
Yeah, the reason I was scared to say Martinez is because we're talking about Roque Martinez. I was like, I'm sure his name's Martinez. Yeah, until one of them says it, or Anik, of course. We won't know how to pronounce his name, but it's good to get it off the football. Learn stuff.
The thing with, if you look at, and I've only just going through the record of Roque, but if you look, basically his opponents have, on average, lose more than they win. And they've got an average age of about 40. And he's fought 2 people who I do know a little bit about, Jake Hyun and Krokop, and he's lost to both of them.
Okay.
So that that doesn't bode well, right?
It doesn't.
I'm
those people
sure
that are old and on losing records, he beat them. He beat them. He didn't get done to them, did he?
No, but
he's learnt along the way and all that stuff. He's obviously done lots of training and got a good bod from it. So there's lots of, I know, lots of positive.
But if you look at, say, Romanov's last few opponents, they've got winning records. They may not have massive records. They may not have 35-12 or anything like that. It might be sort of relatively still new. I mean, look, he's beaten a guy called Stolyarov, whose record is 25-7. So
all right. Well,
a decent amount of experience and winning records. He beat a guy called Grigore, who's 7-2. So he's if you just look at the 2 records, you look at the physiques, you look at everything like that. You have to say that the smart money, when you don't have much else to draw on, would be on Romanov.
We had even less to draw on. We didn't look at any of this. We looked nothing up, and we chose Romanov. What's that tell you? We know
Yeah.
what's going on. We know what's going down here. Didn't even look, didn't even know. And we still chose what we believe, even after all the data's come out, we still chose the same bloke. Nothing's changed. I'm still going Romanov.
I'm still going Romanov. And all I will say, just you quickly asked about undefeated records. We
I
won't
did,
go
yeah.
into
I think
great.
it's quite an interesting one.
Yeah,
Probably
well, we
weird
won't go
choice
into
to do it on, but it's
won't go
come
into
up.
great detail about it. But it's for me the undefeated record. It's obviously good for the fighter's mentality. You know, it builds up a little bit of
Is
an
it, though?
invincibility.
What about the
But
pressure of,
well,
losing?
no, I don't
Not
think.
higher?
I think it builds up a little bit of an invincibility sort of aura about them. Obviously, gives them confidence. All those kinds of things. But at the same time, like the point you were just going to raise, sometimes it's good to have been on the receiving end, knowing what being on the flip side is like, etc. So there's pros and cons. Obviously, you have sometimes if you have people who've never been knocked out, for example, they can get too much confidence in their chin, or they can take risks that are not necessarily worth the risk,
And probably risks that they
because
wouldn't have
they
taken 2, 3, 4 fights ago. They're like, well, I
yeah,
don't get
or
it. I don't get
they
hurt.
take risks that an experienced fighter wouldn't take because the odds will be stacked against you.
Yeah.
And we saw, when you build up when you get people blowing smoke up your backside too much, like they did with Fabrizio Verdum when they're calling him the GOAT and stuff. You saw what happened the way he went in against Miocic, thought he was
Invincible.
unbreakable,
Yeah.
and just
That's
walked
true.
forward with his guard down and got banged out. So
That's true.
there's something to be said for both. It's like with most things, I think it comes down just to the fighter's mindset. Somebody with a strong mindset, it won't matter whether they lose a fight, win a fight, they will turn it to their advantage. If they lose a fight, they will use it as motivation. If they don't lose a fight, they use it as, sort of a confidence boost and this, that, and the other. So it just comes down to the individual. But
Most of
obviously,
them, going off of what we've seen through watching the sport, most of them that have been on, say, a long streak or an undefeated record, but it doesn't have to be undefeated. It could be 7, 8 fights in a row, right? It's not undefeated, but they haven't been defeated for a long time. When they lose, they often, doesn't have to be for the belt, losing the belt, but they often say that's the pressure off now, so what, I got beat or whatever. So I do
feel
think
there was that with
makes
Anderson
sense.
Silva, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said that after the Weidman loss, where it was like, there was that pressure of, the longest title reign and all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And it does alleviate that pressure. Now, some people thrive under that pressure. Some people, it kind of nags at the back of them. Some people get bored, probably being asked about it. It's all different things. Like I say, at the end of the day, it just comes down to the individual fighter. Do you have a fighter who's got a good mentality or a bad mentality? And if you've got a fighter with a good mentality, the losses next to their name won't bother them, and also the lack of losses won't bother them.
And there's nothing they can do about it. Once the loss is there, it's there. So it's how they handle it afterwards and go, well, look, it's all right, the pressure's off, or it's no, I can't handle that, I made a mistake, and they can't live with themselves. The truth is, if you're saying, and it does make sense, that after a long period of, say, not getting hurt, not getting beat, or really dominating your opponents, you probably will come out with the next one. Maybe the next one you might not have trained as much, had a few more beers or whatever it is you've done, had a pizza and gone, I don't need to, I'm way better. Like John Jones, I bet you any money. He's always said, isn't he, that there's a couple of fights he didn't really train that much for because he's so much better than people. Then Hamill done him, right? But if you think about it, he's taken some risks doing that because he is a lot better, and he's almost lost some fights because of that. This is what he said, not obviously what I'm saying. So you're right. I think you can take a risk and go, well, look, I'm so much better than these blokes. I can take my foot off the pedal, don't have to train as much. I can stop training earlier than I did last time. I can eat some crap or whatever. And that's when you start to maybe lose, or it starts getting tight. And if you do lose, at that point, you're going to go, that's my fault, that I took my foot off the gas. I thought I was, much better than all these blokes, but this bloke I underestimated, or I overestimated my skills, and now I've lost. That might annoy you because you go, well, then again, you could get over that because you go, well, I didn't really lose. I lost, as in I lost before I went in there with the way I behaved before it. So that would also, it's about finding a way to deal with stuff, isn't it? That means you can just get back on the horse.
That's like I say, that's why you just somebody with a good, strong mentality, it shouldn't affect them, and somebody with a bad mentality probably does affect them regardless anyway. So it just comes down to just either having good mental resolve and good mental attributes or not. The classic case, and we won't discuss in too much more detail, But the classic case is obviously Mike Tyson. It was rumored that he wasn't really taking the fight against Buster Douglas, who was such a huge underdog. Rumored he wasn't taking it too serious. It was obviously the fight took place in Japan. It was in Tokyo, so I guess it was being used kind of as a showcase to put him, around the world globally. And he didn't train, so I understand, wasn't training that well. Living the high life. You've had that recently with Andy Ruiz after he knocked out Anthony Joshua, and then for the rematch, he basically didn't train. And with Tyson, he obviously came unstuck. Yet different from Ruiz, he actually did have an undefeated record. He was kind of viewed as the most feared man on the planet. Had an aura about him. I mean, just one of the greatest upsets in sport in history. And it just goes to show, if you don't, fail to prepare to fail. That's the classic mantra. And just goes to show, especially at the highest level of the sport, anyone can beat anyone on a given day, right? Especially with these sports where it only takes one punch on the chin, or one boot to the chin, or one elbow, or one flash submission. You can't afford to take risks.
Right. Well, I can't afford to ask you questions in future either. Moving on. Roosevelt Roberts, 11-2 versus Kevin Croom. Now, this was meant to be Matt Rivola, not Kevin Croom. I don't know who Kevin Croom is. Don't want to be nasty again, but I do think, haven't we discussed Roosevelt Roberts before, and we think he's quite good? Looks a bit like Violent Bob Ross sort of looking bloke. I think he's quite good. A lean. Looks like the...
Yeah, that's right. A long, lean guy, and we do think he's good. He lost his last fight out, didn't he, against Jim Miller, but there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
And
I think he's quite good, this guy. But
I do think Roberts is good, and for me, this is quite... Look, I don't know anything about Croom either. He could be incredible, and I don't know it, but I'm going to stick with what I know.
So am I.
Go for Roosevelt Roberts.
And like I said, look, I could do what I was going to do before and go, no, Croom's coming in to prove a point. He ain't interested in whether you know him or not. He's like, what's happening here? You're overlooking me? I'll show you. He's taken the fight. He's confident, right? He probably thinks he can win. I think he's going to get done. I think he's going to get blazed in round 1 by Roberts. So that's my pick and all. Roosevelt Roberts.
Yep.
Sorry, Croom. This is the... Do they still call this a featured prelim? Is the last prelim before the main card a featured prelim? I think it is, isn't it? This is the one that gets your juices flying for the next fight. It's like, if you watch this, right, and you get all excited... Then you're going to buy the bloody main event. You're going to buy the main card. You're going to get your money out, right? This is what it's for. So let's just see what it is. Normally, it is someone really exciting. You go, what's he doing down there? Someone like
They don't need to get their money out for this one because it's not a pay-per-view.
Okay, all right. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Stay seating. They're going to watch it. They're going to go, come on, guys.
It's the one that's supposed to make a channel.
Right, this is why they put it in this spot. Normally, it is someone good. Cerrone, Jim Miller, people like that. You go, what's he doing down there? And they say, well, it's because we want to get people in for the main card, right? So let's see, what have they put in this spot? It's going to be exciting because we've had a few here where we ain't too sure, and now we're going to get to it, right? Julia Avila versus Sarjia Eubanks. I mean, that's it. I'd be going to bed, playing a game, going out, anything.
Well,
as a matter of fact, I'll tell you when I'll come back and sit down and watch the fights when this one's finished. Right.
Well, I've got just for fights this, I've got a freshly painted wall that I like to go and stare at for a bit.
Okay. Well, maybe we can fire up the webcams and I can stare at it as well because my walls aren't freshly painted. So
yeah,
I'll have a freshly painted one as well, please. Blimey.
Having said that, I do think it's quite a difficult fight to pick. Have you got anything on the betting lines on this? Do you know who's the favourite?
I know that Avila's the favourite. That's
Avila's the favourite.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go for Sarjia Eubanks. I think this is every card you have usually have one person where you go, I think they're the betting underdog. And
okay. So one that barks.
I think this is the one for me.
Okay, so you think she's going to bark at the end of the fight?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, she's going to do the underdog move. Yeah,
I have to say, I do agree.
Yeah, that's who I'm going for, and you can't change my mind.
I wasn't going to try to. Don't worry, I weren't going to try to, because that would mean I'd have to talk about this fight longer than I want to. So don't worry, no mind changing here. I was just going to go for the run of the mill and do the favourite, right? Because I don't really think Sarge is very good, but I don't know this probably Avila is. And I do know that Sarge is rough and tough and got a bit of grit. I'm going Sarge as well, and that's all there is to it. And I'm sorry that it's the same, but I'm not changing my mind either. Next fight. This is the first fight on the main card.
All right,
So this is where they start to ramp it up. Oh, well, obviously, no matter what, it's going to ramp up, innit, after the previous fight. We never know, though. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see if we eat humble pie afterwards once we've watched it and go, God, we're really wrong about that Avila Eubanks fight. It was great. And I hope it does do that. But I won't be watching it to find out. So the next fight is Billy Quarantillo. Brilliant name. It's like Quentin Tarantino's brother. Billy Quarantillo versus Kyle Nelson. Now, Kyle is called the Monster Nelson, but I think this is a featherweight fight. So I don't know. It won't be called the Monster because of the size. And the favourite is Quarantillo. And I'm going with Quarantillo. And that's
okay. Well, I mean, he's lost 2 of his 3 fights in the UFC.
Oh, hang on. I've gone with Quarantillo without any data. Let's see if it changes my mind. I can't change it, but let's see if it would change my mind.
He's won. Yeah, well, he's won 2 of his 3. Lost 2 of his 3. Has Kyle Nelson, but again, doesn't matter too much. You know, if I lost 2 of 3, but I fought, say, Covington, Usman, and
bet on him then,
and Masvidal, you know that there'll be no shame in that.
All right.
So
well,
that isn't always.
Prove
that
it.
isn't always the best indicator, but the last time out I saw Billy Quarantillo, I thought I didn't see much there to like. I have to be honest.
Yeah, he ain't made a good film for a while, has he?
Nah, I didn't like the Hateful Eight. I didn't like, and now you know, is he taking his training seriously with other movies and projects on the go? Who knows? But on a serious note, I don't think. The couple of fights I've seen Quarantillo in, I actually think he's not looked very good.
You've got to have your reasons. Is this what? Are you going for the Monster?
I think I'm still going to go for Quarantillo though.
Blimey hell! God,
I'm just letting it.
How bad do you think Kyle Nelson is then? From Canada, 13-3, not a bad record.
He's beat Jonathan Brookins as well.
Oh yeah, I'm a fighter bloke. I thought he was all right.
Yeah, I thought he was all right as well. But yeah, I'm still going to have to go with Quarantillo, I think. But it's, you know, really, I'm not too confident because, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well,
I haven't liked what I've seen so far. But, you know, who knows?
Maybe... Yeah, it's good though, because Quarantillo's going to be saying, well, I've got to up my film game. That's the first thing. And the people don't think I'm been that great, but they have actually betted on me. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth, Quarrans. Next fight. Yes, Bobby Green. Now, you know, I really like this guy. Bobby Green versus... Is he... So it says, I'm going to say it just as I see it, Alan Patrick. But is he an Elaine Patrick or something like that, do you think? But he's Brazilian.
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
So it doesn't matter because I'm calling him Alan Patrick. You know, he's...
I was going to say, what do you care? You call chorizo. You don't call it chorizo. So just...
Because that's what it's called.
Right, exactly. Just say what you see. Stop trying to be all, you know, like John Anik and getting everything spot on.
All right.
He's called Alan Patrick. That's the end of it.
All right. In that case, I'll say what I see on his nickname then. Nugget. Alan Nugget Patrick.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant name. Love it. Right, so, look, I don't know. I mean, I have seen this Elaine Patrick before. I have seen him fight before, and I don't remember him being very good. I do like Bobby Green. He does lose a lot of fights because he don't win them. I know that sounds stupid, but, you know, he doesn't put a stamp on them then. There you go. Better explanation, I suppose. But I do think he's good and better than this guy. And I'm going for him. He's the favourite. I don't like going for favourites, but I've got to go for the winner. And I think Bobby Green's going to win this pretty easy.
Yeah, Bobby Green's one of those guys that no matter what fight he's in, he's always competitive in it. he always loses tight decisions, split
He
decisions,
never gets
or
mashed.
even the fights where he might lose that are a little bit more conclusive. He still gives the other guy a rough time in there. Very rarely is he beaten, really conclusively. Just like I think Poirier knocked him out, and that's about it. So I think he's a good competitive guy, Green. He's also one of those guys that's probably, if he can just tweak his game a little bit, you never know, he might even be able to crack the top 10, top 15 maybe.
Definitely good enough. I think he's good.
Yeah, I think he's decent as well. And so for me, this has got Bobby Green's name written all over it. This is this is one I'll be confident putting my money on. And you'll find that out later when we do our bet. Next fight.
Yep.
Please.
The next fight. Look, I'm telling you now, this is great for me and you. We love this guy, and here he is. Ed Short Fuse Herman. Amazing. I haven't seen him fight for ages. Bloody brilliant. Versus Mike, Slow Mike Rodríguez. Slow Mike. Favourites Rodríguez.
Well, obviously we saw
winning.
Rodríguez's handiwork a couple of fight cards back, didn't we? And we both said we thought he looked good. He knocked out Pragnio, I believe it was. Remember with that short little elbow, the little elbow?
Followed him down. Yeah, done a little inside elbow. It's an inside elbow. Then he came across the top with an elbow. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so I
mean,
short fuse
going up
Herman
against Herman. This is what I'm saying. So he might look good against that other guy, but we're talking about short fuse here.
Is Rodríguez's nickname really Slow? Is it
Slow Mike?
Okay, right. Well, I mean, Ed Herman's going to show him up because if there's one person that is slow in that division, it is Ed Herman. He fights like he's underwater with hands made of concrete. I mean,
you know what Slow Mike Rodríguez referred to Herman as his style, as what he's like? Tanky.
Tanky.
I like it. Yeah, slow drip who keeps coming at you, takes a load of damage. He's good. He's a good one.
Yeah, I like Herman. Just even though I'm sort of, if you like, bad mouthing him, some people might think by saying he looks like a lump of concrete shadow boxing underwater. There's still something to be said for it, right? He wins a lot of fights. I mean, I can't remember what his UFC record is, but it's about 50-50, and he's had a hell of a lot of fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's beaten some decent blokes as well. I think he's deceptively powerful. I think he's
definitely strong
because he's so slow. His timing's so awkward. I mean, sometimes I remember, sometimes boxing where people have really say sort of weird timing and stuff, and you think you're blocking a punch, and you almost do the block and finish the block, and then you get hit because you're expecting
where's that punch?
The punch to come, and it takes so long to get there that you're onto the next bit before it's even got there. So there's something to be said for that unorthodox sort of timing.
It's the same with his kicks as well, by the way. It's the same with his
kicks. I've noticed his kicks. Yeah.
You see his hip go, right? And then he drags it round. The foot don't come off the floor or anything. He just drags it round like draws a big semicircle on the floor, and then a big tree trunk comes past. And you just move out of the way and go, yeah, no worries. Enjoy yourself. He's like, I like him though, even though he's crap. I like him the same way I like Sam Alvey. He's rubbish as well, but I really like him. I do like it when he fights. And I like that Ed Herman's having a fight and all, but he's going to get absolutely mashed to shreds. I mean, he's going to get mashed.
I like Ed Herman. Despite us, like I say, all this stuff where some people go, oh, you're talking bad of him or whatever. We're not. We like this bloke probably more than most people. Most people probably see Ed Herman on a card and they're kind of a little bit indifferent. We see Ed Herman on a card and we're like, brilliant. Well, you know what you're getting. You're getting a guy who goes in there, who has a smash,
it's a bit of light relief.
Comes up trumps 50% of the time and gets, comes up loser 50% of the time. But he's there. He's worth having on the card. He's good entertainment value. We like him. But he's going to get done by Rodríguez. That's the end of it.
Forget it. He's out. But don't get rid of him. He's brilliant. The next fight, I mean, fabulous. There's no way this isn't going to be exciting. There's no way this isn't going to blow your socks off. This is going to be fireworks. All right? Ready?
Yep.
Roxanne Modafferi versus Andrea Lee. I'm picking Lee. No, I'm not going to change my mind. I know I'm not allowed, but Modafferi's the underdog, and I think she'll win. Okay, I'm going Modafferi. Sorry, I don't do changes, but I spoke too soon. It was the excitement of the fight, and my mind got a bit scrambled. I apologise. I'm going to change. I'm going for Roxanne Modafferi to beat KGB Lee. That's what I'm going for. But Lee is the favourite. But I think this is a good underdog. I think it is.
I think it's a good underdog. It's one of those ones where if Modafferi can, what's her nickname? Happy Face or something?
Nah, the Happy Warrior, mate.
Oh, the Happy Warrior, yeah. Just as bad. If she can sort of like grab hold of her around the waist, drag her to the floor, and do a, little
you're watching
taps
UFC
to the head,
fighting
then,
here, right?
she might beat Andrea Lee. But, I mean, you know what? I'll be honest. I don't care. But I'm going to go for Andrea Lee. But
Normally it'd be a time where I'd have a dig at you, say you're nasty, this, that, and the other. But my answer to it all is next fight. And the next fight is Ottman Azaitar. Ottman Azaitar from Morocco. 12-0. This guy. Versus Khama Worthy.
Good name, innit?
Khama Worthy, yeah, it is. Is it real or is he going to stage name? It can't be real. Might be, though. Maybe that's why they called him that. Because they went, well, his name's Worthy. We'll give him an interesting name. What about
That's right.
So you like his name. What about his nickname? You like that?
The Death Star?
Yeah.
I actually think it's all right.
Oh, okay. Good for you. This Khama Worthy's on a 7-fight win streak.
What, you don't think it's good, no?
Nah, run-of-the-mill Star Wars crap. So I think that 7-fight win streak plays into what we said.
No, wait. What do you mean run-of-the-mill Star Wars crap? How many other people?
Well, Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Star Wars. It used to be good, and the last 7 films have just burnt a hole through my brain. I mean, they're absolutely awful. But
yeah, but Star Wars ain't crap in general.
You don't hear anyone called Death Star, and one of my favourite ever nicknames was Ryan Bader, Darth Vader.
That's just because
and
it
used
goes
to come
with
out
it.
to the Darth Vader's music, so double good.
Yeah, it goes with it though. This don't. I understand the Darth. Look, I actually think it's too run of the mill, but I do like the Darth Vader thing. But Khama the Death Star Worthy. Why is he the Death Star? Nasty.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's like it doesn't tie in with Khama Worthy.
He might have a reason for it.
He should have called himself Bad Khama.
Good one.
Isn't that better?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. You see what I mean? Right.
Or he should have called himself Khama Noteworthy.
That's a good one, isn't it? I prefer that one.
Yeah. Anyway,
when
so
he's
there you go.
It's a couple. It's like there's a guy in King of Fighters called Shingo. What he does is when he has a smash with you, he makes notes. Only when he fights Kaio, actually, because he's trying to be like Kaio, like one of the other characters. And what he does is when he has a smash, he makes notes of the moves and goes, "Oh, right, yeah, I'll take a note of that." So that's what the noteworthy thing is. So I take a note of that move. I'll use it next time.
Yep.
Brilliant. Good one. Well, I'm going for Worthy. He is the favourite. But then the bloke is 12-0, the other fella. Now, that does mean something. This guy, though, Khama Worthy's kind of got his own 12-0. He's not 12-0. He's 16-6. But he's on a 7-fight win streak. So, he ain't been defeated for a while. And that gives you the confidence, right? So, they're kind of both on the confidence boost.
Yeah, I agree. They're both confident, or should be anyway. Khama Worthy beat Luis Pena last time out, and we actually think he's good. Violent Bob Ross.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I think he's a decent fighter. I would also have gone for Khama Worthy, but he has lost to a couple of people who I've slammed earlier in the podcast. So he's lost to that Kyle Nelson, who I said is going to get beaten by Billy Quarantillo. But guess what? He's also lost to Billy Quarantillo.
Oh,
so he's lost to 2 people who I've earlier on kind of said, mate.
Well, this is what happens when you do research. See, this is your problem, right? I'm going with gut feel here. You're going with research, and we're going to find out what wins. Whether it's data and research. I'm sticking with mine and going.
You're going to stick with Khama Worthy. Well,
I'm
the other
gonna,
thing
yeah.
is the other thing.
I do know now why you've gone. Well, I'm not sure.
Well, the other thing about that Ottman Azaitar is I don't know too much about him. He's only had one UFC fight. I do remember the fight because it was recently on a knockout highlight recap show, and he knocked out a guy, and he face planted him. The guy just landed. He knocked him out cold, and the guy landed on his face. He'd done a bit of a Ben Askren. Went stiff.
Enjoy watching stuff like that, do you?
No, I don't. But it came on the TV. I mean, what was I supposed to do?
Didn't turn it over. Well, you could turn it over.
No, because I was waiting for that 7-fight card to come on. It's a couple of weeks back. Anyway, so he obviously has knockout power, but it was in the first round. That, to be honest with you, the guy who he knocked out, he still had to knock him out. Is still very impressive, but the guy he knocked out, I mean, he was just basically coming in just so open that it was a gift as well. So
he took the gift and he made the most of the gift, and that does
count. Had to unwrap it. Yeah. So something to be said for that. So this is quite a difficult fight to pick, I would say, because I would usually go for someone like Khama Worthy because he's fought some good guys, beaten some decent guys.
All the things I was thinking, yeah.
But I see that he's lost against a couple of guys. Like I said, he's lost against Quarantillo. It was a fair bit back, but still, that gives me some cause for concern.
Well, you're letting it taint your view. I didn't have any of this stuff tainting my view. I've gone with reality, and reality is he's going to do him. I just don't really know why. Well, he's got a 7-fight win streak, and he's got confidence, and he's got the experience that this other bloke ain't got in the Ultimate Fighting Championship stage. There's my reasoning, and we'll see if my common sense and gut feel beat your stinking, smelly data.
All right, I'll go for Ottman to make it interesting.
Okay, no problem. Believe it or not, we're now on the main event. So this is the last fight. This one is Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill. I'm going to have a little chat about this. Just because it's the main event, we'll have a little chat. This is why I'm going to have a chat about it. Now, all due respect to them, they weren't the main event. They now are the main event. I tell you what is quite good about that. That normally when you get bumped up to the main event, when someone else drops off, they change it to a 3 round. It's not 5 rounds still. So, I think that's pretty good. Something to be said for that.
Yeah, props to them for that,
Yeah. But okay, so the reason I'm going to have a little chat about this is this, right? So both of these fighters that are in the main event are coming off losses. Like I said, I know they're not meant to be in the main event, right? But it don't matter. We're having a chat about it. What's the point of having a pre-fight show and not talking? You'll notice there's no video on this. We're chatting. So that's what we're doing. I can't help it. I got to chat. This is what we do. So I'm chatting, right? They're coming off losses, the pair of them. Waterson got done by Carla Esparza. Yeah, no, whatever I want. Got done by Carla Esparza. Hill got done by Claudia Gadelha. Oh, no, I didn't. I won that fight. You all saw it, right? They both got done, right? Waterson's lost her last two fights. One of them, Jan Jacek, and the other one, Esparza just said. The champ in this division is Zhang Weili. So these two, in my opinion, I don't think they're ever getting there. While she's the champ, of course, right? I don't think they're getting. And if they get there, they ain't going to do her, I don't think, right? So let's have a look who's above Hill. Amanda Ribas. Tisha Torres. I mean, she's a little bit small. She might do her. Yan Xiaonan. Marina Rodríguez and Michelle Waterson. And then above Waterson is Carla Esparza, Claudia Gadelha, Nina Ansaroff, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Tatiana Suarez, quite good but never fights, Jessica Andrade, terrible but will still probably beat both of them up, and Rose Namajunas. So with that list, do you think they're getting there? I don't think they're getting through them. Neither of them.
I think out of the two, Angela Hill probably stands the better chance of getting there. I always find that Michelle Waterson's got that touch of Frankie Edgar about her. That no matter who she fights, she always seems undersized or seems smaller or seems a little bit physically dominated by the other person. I don't know if you get that same impression, but that's kind of how I feel.
You have to watch the fights to get an impression.
Well, out the two, I prefer Waterson. I actually think she's got some good skills. We've kind of discussed this stuff before. That she's one of those people that if you saw her in a gym hitting a bag on the pad, stuff like that,
she's good.
You'd be really
real
really
good
impressed.
martial artist. Definitely good. Do think she, a decent martial artist without
I just
doubt.
feel that sometimes she can get bullied out of it, for want of a better
Well,
term.
I think,
I do feel like that's what's going to happen this fight. I think she's probably going to lose a decision to Angela Overkill Hill.
See now, okay, but listen to what you said. You said lose a decision to Overkill, right? This is where I don't think that's going to happen. I do think because it's 5 rounds, I think the likelihood of a decision win is plausible because it's women fights. And I'd say if there's going to be a decision, I think it'd be Waterson. Bit better on the ground, a bit more savvy on the ground, roll around a bit, probably go for some submission attempts, get some ground control time. I think she will win a decision. I think in a 3-rounder, Angela Hill is more likely to do Waterson and get a decision. But I think in this 5-rounder, I'd say that Waterson will just get it on points through being a little bit more well-rounded, unless she gets stopped, of course. And I don't think she will. I think she'll win a decision. So I'm going for Waterson decision. The favourite is Hill, so I'm going for the underdog here.
That's fair enough. But yeah, I just think that Overkill Hill will just keep her at range, keep her on the end of her sort of jab and her straight punches. And
do you? Well, we'll see, boy.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what.
Right, yeah, go on.
How about this? We're discussing
what about it?
Right, well, hang on.
Well,
whoever, right? We've got our predictions now.
They're done.
Loses, as in,
did you make a note of it? Because I didn't.
Sorry, no, I'll make a note of it later. But whoever gets
make a note of it later.
Yeah, whoever gets more wrong has to fund the £5 bet the following week. Done.
Is that supposed to scare me?
That's not supposed to scare you, but it's just.
Well, it's not going to. It's not going to scare me if I'm not going to get done. I mean, I'm never going to lose this $5, so it's big. Big deal. So what?
Right, well, it just adds a bit of fuel to the fire. So, whoever gets most correct will
right.
Will
it was a silly
not
idea
have to
by
fund
you.
Next week. So
you
just
come up
quickly
with a rule where you're going to get done from it. Stupid. It's fine by me. Listen, it's fine by me. Yeah. Okay, I agree. There you go. Virtual handshake.
There you go. Okay,
so it doesn't exist.
Tell me who are the people that you're pretty confident are going to win. We've got to pick 5 that we think are definitely going to win. I'd like to go for Bobby Green to beat Alan Patrick.
Okay, go on. You do yours. Yeah.
I would go for Bobby Green. I would go for Mike Rodríguez to beat our mate Ed Herman.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, but yeah.
I would go for just to mix things up. I would go for Sarjia Eubanks to beat Julia Avila.
Right.
I would go for.
Blimey.
Well, I've got to go for 5, haven't I?
On this.
I've got to go for 5, haven't I?
Well, let's go on then. Go for them. This is why you should have made notes to start with. This is something to learn from. I apologise about this. I'm going to have to do this in a minute.
I would go for Angela Hill.
Right.
Well, I'm struggling. There's a lot of fights here that
You've done more than 5 there. Have you made a note of these yet?
No, yeah, I'm betting on them as we speak.
Oh,
that's 4.
All right. Oh.
And then the 5th one would be Romanov to beat Roque Martinez.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll do mine, and I'll try and do them a bit quicker. So I'm going to go for.
Wait.
Oh,
hang on. Do you want to do a separate? So you want to do a separate one, do you?
Listen, I don't make the rules. You're just asking me to call out names. I'm going to call out names.
Well,
that's all there is to
it. Just hang on a second.
You can't, when you're doing live shows, you can't hang on a second. This should have all been done and planned beforehand. We were making notes. You could have been punching.
I'm placing my bet.
As we were saying.
It's not worth it. My potential returns are £4.57.
No matter. If you win, you win. You're going to get the £5, fund the £5 from me.
All right, hang on a second.
And it is about who wins the good amount as well. I don't do betting. This is, this isn't my
Okay, go on.
thing.
Pick yours.
All right, okay. Waterson to win.
Obviously, yeah. Next.
No, it could have been Waterson to lose. Waterson to win. That's 1. Modafferi.
What, to win?
Yep. Put it down.
I've done it.
Okay. Eubanks.
What, we both? So if Eubanks gets done, we both lose our bets.
I can't change it.
You can change it.
Well, I'm not going to.
And you said to me that I took ages. I'd say you're taking
Eubanks,
longer.
I have not taken longer than you. The only thing that's taking it take long is you. Right. And have I got one more?
No, 2 more.
It's not 2 more.
You've got Eubanks, Modafferi, and Waterson.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do Tarantino. Let's go with... All right, I'll go with Worthy.
You're going with Worthy?
Yeah, I said I would anyway, didn't I? I haven't done... You did. You've just done Worthy, and you lied, because on the actual thing, you said you were going to go with Ottman to make it more interesting. You can't do that, what you've just done. You've just picked Worthy. It kind of stopped me...
I didn't pick Worthy
Didn't
on my
you?
bet. I picked Romanov. No, so just
Romanov?
calm down.
That's my other one, Romanov. Over the...
Oh, Romanov, so you're just copying me on that one, are you?
Hang on, is the Romanov the underdog or the faves?
Romanov is the favourite.
No, I don't want him then. Okay, I'll go for Rodríguez because I think he'll win. I was going to go with Herman as an underdog, but I can't. Rodríguez, there you go. Is that it?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I'll let you know how much you're due to win. I'm just putting on £2.50 for each of us.
All right.
And what we'll try and do is we'll build this up into a little account, and we'll see how much we have. Sort of in a few months' time, see whether we've made profit or a loss. But my winnings would be £4.72. Yours would be £5.92, which suggests you've gone for a lot more underdogs.
Still not enough. I suppose didn't put enough money on. All right. Well.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's over doubling your money. So if you put down 50 quid, you would have probably got back about 110. But we're not doing anything crazy like that.
No, it's just for a bit of fun. I don't want you. I don't want you to start getting all involved in this and it start causing you any problems. I'm in control here. It ain't going to cause me no problems.
There you go. It's on.
All done.
Yep, all done.
So that's the pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night Vegas 10. Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill, and that's all I've got on that.
No, it's not.
Oh, is it not?
Nah. Do you remember at the start we said we're going to do an excited rating, between, let's just say 1 and 5 for each fight.
Well, a lot of fights on here. All right, go on.
Yeah, we'll just say our number. Mazo versus Kish. 1 being not excited, 5 being can't wait.
Oh, 1, not excited.
Yeah, 1. Bryan Barbarena, Anthony Ivy.
Out of 5, this is it?
Yeah.
2.5?
Yeah, I'd say 2. Yeah, it's not bad fight. Yeah. Brok Weaver, Jalin Turner.
Same, 2.5.
2. Romanov, Martinez.
Oh, no, 1.
Roosevelt, Roberts, Croom. I'd say it's 2 as well, because I'm interested because of the unbeaten record. Roosevelt, Roberts, Croom.
That's a 2.
2.5. Yeah,
yeah, like 2.5. Yeah, that's an all right one.
Avila, Sarjia, Eubanks.
1.
2. No, actually, no, 5, because we both got money on that one, so we've made it good.
True.
Billy Tarantino versus Kyle Nelson.
1.
Yeah. Bobby Green versus Alan Patrick.
3.5, something like that. Quite high.
3. Yeah. Herman versus Rodríguez.
3.
3 as well, yeah. Modafferi versus Lee.
It's a 1.
I'm going to say it's a little bit better than, say Kish versus Mazo. I'm going to say 1.5. Not much better. I
scared of Modafferi smashing your face in.
No. Anyway, right, next one. Azaitar versus Khama Worthy.
They're 3.
Yeah, I'll say 2, 2.5. I'm quite interested in that. and Michelle Waterson, Angela Hill.
The 2, it's better than the other women ones, but it's a 2. Sorry, not that bothered.
2 as well.
Now, if
So
it was
go.
Glover and Hammer Chest, it'd have been a 5. No joke.
Yeah, same here. So we basically we're most looking forward to Ed Herman, Mike Rodríguez, and Bobby Green versus Alan Patrick.
Oh yeah, but everyone thinks we don't like Ed Herman. Yeah, all right, guys. Jeez.
Yeah,
now you know.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
Right.
So all that's left to say now is enjoy the fights. That's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah, enjoy the average 2 out of 5 card.
Can't judge a card before you've seen it. Well, you can judge it, but I'm saying, this could be brilliant.
Absolutely,
it could be brilliant, and I like
it's not going to be. But...
Well, no, we'll see, right? I like it that there's people on there that we don't know, aren't aware of. We might find some good new stars, and if we find people that we like that are good and that we can see have got some amazing potential and stuff, then we'll definitely chat about it on the post-fight show for sure. So they'll get some airtime. Haven't these all had airtime?
Yeah, too much.
Not. We've had a chat about them all.
Yep.
Right.
We have.
So thanks very much for listening. If you did listen, I shall catch you on the next show, whatever that may be. Probably the post-fight one of this UFC Fight Night Vegas 10. I'll say it to you. Enjoy the fights, and I'll catch you later.
Yeah, I'll just say quickly, if anyone does listen, which I don't think they do, but if they do,
yeah,
put down your 5 locks. Who would you have bet on? Who would you bet your house on? Put your
Brilliant.
5 guarantees down, and we'll see.
Yeah, let's have it. Put them down.
We'll see whether you do better than us or not.
Put your reasons. Say whatever you like. That's what the comments are there for. Thanks very much, everyone. I'll see you later, man.
See you later, mate.
Nice one. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.